Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. This channel has been dead for quite some time, and I do apologize for that. After we moved the podcast off this channel, I didn't know what else to put on, and so I've been thinking for months and months now, but I think I finally found something, and I wanted to start this new series where I kind of just do this very quickly. Turn on the camera. What I like doing is finding questions and kind of answering those for myself, so I thought, why not do it in front of a camera, and maybe some of you guys can take something away from it. And if you guys do, great. If you guys don't, that's okay. Life is bigger than just me. I don't have a name for this series. I don't have anything for this series. I kind of just starting to see if it works. First question is, should one prioritize personal happiness over societal expectations, even if it means going up against cultural norms or family wishes? I think the most simple answer is yes. I think the more difficult answer is yes, if you're ready for all of the backlash that comes with it. I come from a traditional background, so family was something that was embedded to me the moment I was born, the moment I could even remember as far back. Family was something that was always there. But something always felt a little off. Something always felt like I didn't belong. And that's not to say anything bad. That's just to say, like, I just didn't feel like I belonged. Like, there were a lot of things that I wanted to do in my life or I wanted to understand, and I just didn't. And so as I got older, I started to seek for something outside of family. You go through these phases as young adults and in your adult years where, you know, you're trying to figure all this crap out. And eventually, where it led me down was finding my wife. And what that ended up allowing was a newer understanding of my take on the world. How I understood the world was, I thought that the world that I was living in was already huge. Meeting my wife opened that door of, oh shit, like the world is huge. The world was humongous. Like I had no understanding of family, love, relationships. I had no understanding of anything. Anything that I did understand seemed very minuscule. So that started my journey and my curiosity about trying to figure all this crap out. And I was lucky enough that at the time her father was still alive and he had taught me a lot about his ideals and his ordeals. I didn't have a good relationship with my father at the time, so I didn't talk to my dad the way I talked to him. With him, I could ask deep questions and he would always get down to the nitty gritty, and that gave me a huge perspective on a lot of how I was viewing the world. What I started to understand was that growing up, I thought the world was huge, but when we separated, we start to understand that the world is like this. It is as small as this. Once we walk away, we start to realize that the world is like this. It is a huge difference between this and this. And I needed to go and understand what this had to offer. And eventually, you know, there is never going to be a direct answer of like, yes, this is how big it is. This is how much you don't understand, because you're going to constantly learn. As you live and you continue to live, you continue to grow, you continue to develop your wisdom, your knowledge, there's going to be unlimited amounts that you're going to know and learn for yourself. But what I started to realize was that this unsettling feeling that I had growing up was just because I didn't know who I was. Because who I was with my family was a version that I had to be to fit in. Walking away and figuring all that out for myself allowed for me to develop into a brand new person. There was something that was said once, and I can't remember who said it, but for the amount of wisdom that one chases, a part of you will die chasing that wisdom, chasing that knowledge. And I started to understand what that meant. For every time that I started to see the world differently, for every time that I started to see what I couldn't before, an older part of me would die off. Versions of me would die off, and I would start to shape and mold myself into who I needed to be to work in this world that I was now in. For my wife, you know, I am who I have to be for my wife. And that may not work for other people outside of that. And that's okay. You got to realize that That's my happiness. I am prioritizing my happiness right now. And when you prioritize your happiness, you're not going to make a lot of people happy, and that's okay. I think that's the lesson of the day, is like, it's okay. The world is a lot bigger than other people make it out to be. For how I see the world, maybe tomorrow I'm going to meet someone and they see the world way bigger than I have, and I'll learn something new. So yes, I think one should prioritize personal happiness, but you got to be ready. Yeah, so that's my answer for this first question. I hope you guys like what I'm doing here. Very quick and easy. Yeah, I'll see if I can find any more, or if you guys have any questions, put them down below, and then I'll go ahead and look at it and answer them. All right, guys. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.